The whole Phoenix Mercury team. We got you always. Sammy Wickham. We know the person you are, the heart you have, and everything you bring to this team every single day. No matter the circumstances, know this: you are not standing alone. We stand with you. We believe in you. Some things are bigger than basketball. Side by side.
Watch that statement carefully. The Phoenix Mercury publicly stood behind Alyssa Thomas after her one-game suspension, saying, "We got you always." Some things are bigger than basketball. On the surface, it's a show of team unity. But many fans see it differently. They argue the organization is defending a player who was suspended after the league reviewed a hard foul on Caitlin Clark and decided disciplinary action was warranted.
I cannot stress this enough. I don't know Alyssa Thomas the person. You don't know Alyssa Thomas the person. She is on the court a bully, and she is a known cheap shot artist. I cannot stress this enough. She is a known cheap shot artist. There is a 2.5 minute compilation of her cheap shotting people.
Let's look at what happened. During the game, Alyssa Thomas made hard contact with Caitlin Clark on a play that officials didn't penalize in real time. After reviewing the footage, the WNBA upgraded the play and issued a one-game suspension. The penalty was relatively light, yet the Mercury's response made it seem like Thomas had been treated unfairly. That's why the situation has sparked debate, not just about the foul itself, but about how teams should balance supporting their players while also respecting the league's disciplinary process.
And add to her 3-minute long video compilation of her basically saying, "Don't be racist because she can't solve racism." I mean this when I say it is shit. It is shit that Alyssa Thomas has to deal with some stuff online. It is really shit. And unfortunately, it comes in territory of being online. But do you want to know the best thing you can do in that scenario? And I'm telling you as somebody who clearly does not get the same amount of shit as Alyssa Thomas does. Who is somebody that...
One reason this incident has gained so much attention is that many fans believe it fits into a broader pattern. Videos circulating online compile multiple plays involving Alyssa Thomas over several seasons, highlighting hard fouls, physical contact away from the ball, and plays that some viewers consider unnecessary. Whether every clip deserves criticism is open to interpretation, but together they've contributed to a reputation that many basketball fans already recognize. That's why this latest suspension didn't surprise a lot of people. For them, it wasn't viewed as a one-time mistake. It was seen as another example of the same aggressive style of play that has sparked debate for years.
They are acting like she's in prison. She's going to play again on fucking Monday. She is going to play a basketball game. Is it Monday? Why are there so few games? She has a 1-game suspension. And it wouldn't have been a 1-game suspension, by the way, if the refs just did their job. She just would have been ejected from the game. Let's look at some of these post-TV. These are some of the hilarious things.
The Mercury statement also addressed the online abuse Alyssa Thomas has received, including hateful messages, racist comments, and reported threats. That kind of behavior is completely unacceptable, and no athlete should ever have to experience it, regardless of what happens during a game. At the same time, it's important to separate two different issues. Online harassment is one matter, while the league's disciplinary process is another. The suspension was the result of the WNBA reviewing an on-court play and determining that disciplinary action was warranted. Many fans believe those two conversations shouldn't be mixed together. They argue it's possible to strongly condemn online abuse, while also accepting that players can be held accountable for actions that occurred during competition. Those are separate issues, and treating them as one only makes an already controversial situation even more divisive.
Chelsea, she got Connor there, she's got her family. Let's be very real. If the internet turns on you, or people in your field turn on you, as long as that's not where you take everything from, where you have all your validation from, which it was like when everyone was off, when the fucking Athletic was talking about starting Raven Johnson, who, by the way, can't even start when Caitlin's out. And people were contacting Caitlin asking if she was okay, and she's like, Why would I not be okay?
The conversation around social media harassment is also worth addressing. Unfortunately, every high-profile athlete today faces criticism online, and in some cases, that crosses the line into abusive or threatening behavior. No player should ever have to deal with that. At the same time, Caitlin Clark has faced similar challenges throughout her career. She has repeatedly condemned abusive behavior from people claiming to support her and has publicly called for respect toward other players. Despite that, she has continued to deal with intense scrutiny while also competing under enormous pressure. That's why some fans believe every player deserves the same level of support and protection, regardless of which side of the controversy they're on.
And as her teammates, when CC also ride for her, they will keep it mute. She's literally just out of game, not in some third world prison. This is so embarrassing. No, you're just mad they're not doing what you want. I actually don't like, what do you mean doing what I want? I would rather the referees just call this on the spot and Alyssa Thomas isn't suspended. I don't give a shit. I want the Phoenix Mercury to go out and win tomorrow because the Phoenix Mercury aren't making the playoffs. Like, I want Phoenix to go out and win.
The situation also creates an interesting dynamic for the Phoenix Mercury organization. Team owner Matt Ishbia has spoken openly about growing the women's game and building around elite talent. Like many executives across the league, he understands the impact Caitlin Clark has had on television ratings, attendance, sponsorships, and overall league visibility. That makes the Mercury's public support for Alyssa Thomas even more closely scrutinized. From the organization's perspective, standing behind one of its own players is expected. But from the outside, some fans see a conflict between defending a teammate and protecting the image of the league's biggest star. Ultimately, this isn't just about one suspension. It's about balancing team loyalty, league business interests, and public perception. Those conversations are likely taking place behind the scenes because every decision involving high-profile players now carries far more attention than it would have just a few seasons ago.
They're playing the tempo. Yeah, I want them to beat the tempo. I really don't want Alyssa Thomas suspended for this game, ironically. I want them to beat the tempo. It's just me and my profile pic. AT could 100% beat me at basketball. And everyone always mentions the profile picture. This is like one of the most proud fucking pictures of my life. Let me give you a backstory. As you can see, right there, and here, what angle there? My national team jerseys. I've represented my national team playing basketball.
The reactions on social media have been intense. Some fans are treating Alyssa Thomas's one-game suspension as if it were a much bigger punishment than it actually is. While it's understandable for teammates and supporters to stand by her, the reality is that she's serving a one-game suspension, not facing the end of her career. Like every professional athlete, Thomas has teammates, family, and a strong support system around her. The same is true for Caitlin Clark. Both players have people who support them beyond what happens on social media. That's why many believe online reactions shouldn't overshadow the actual basketball discussion.
Severe damage in the right side of my lung. Was being told from 2022 to 2024 that I'd never play again. In the winter of 2024, I got pneumonia twice. I had scans. I had to get constant CT scans because my doctor was worried, well, specialist was worried that I had fibrosis, which again, if that's the case, I'm dead in a few years. And then this is March, where I was kind of given the all clear to play. 25 pounds down since then, not in the best shape of my life right now. Was in much better shape a year ago, but got my lung capacity back up to where I had like a 99% blood oxygen level from I think it was from like 80 something, which is like, you might die 4 months earlier.
Another important point is separating a player's talent from their actions. There's no debate that Alyssa Thomas is one of the WNBA's best players and one of the league's toughest competitors. At the same time, many analysts believe great players should still be held accountable for questionable on-court plays. Those two ideas can exist together. A player can be highly respected for their talent while also facing criticism for specific incidents. Likewise, online harassment should never be accepted, but it also doesn't change the league's responsibility to evaluate plays and issue discipline when necessary.
None of Ken's team has posted any support for her or the incorrect call of suspension. And her only best friend can't even unfollow her. Her own best friend can't even follow. I don't know who's they're saying that. Is it Lexi? Is it Kay Martin? I don't really know. They're the dumbest players in the W. This is so embarrassing. And the funniest thing about all this is that the owner of the Mercury is probably like, oh, fuck. There is no man that wants Caitlin Clark more than Matt Ishbia on his team. Matt Ishbia would trade. If Caitlin Clark said at the end of the year, I'm requesting trade and I want to come to Phoenix, but you will have to waive Alyssa Thomas. She is on a protected contract. He would find a way to navigate the salary cap that he could cut Alyssa Thomas and they go 1.8 million under the salary cap to get Caitlin.
Here's what the Phoenix Mercury statement seems to overlook. Almost nobody is arguing that Alyssa Thomas is a bad person. By all accounts, she's respected by her teammates, valued in the locker room, and someone her organization believes in. Those things can all be true. But that's not the discussion people are having. The conversation is about what happened during the game. When the WNBA reviewed the footage, it determined that Thomas deserved a 1-game suspension. That decision wasn't based on social media outrage or public opinion. It was based on the play itself. The league looked at the contact, upgraded the foul, and issued discipline. That's the process. The suspension wasn't a judgment of her character, it was accountability for an on-court action. In fact, some would argue the punishment was relatively light. Had officials ruled the play correctly in real time, Thomas likely would have been ejected immediately. Instead, she misses just 1 game and returns to the lineup. That's hardly the harshest penalty imaginable. Where the controversy begins is with the Mercury's response. By framing the situation as something bigger than basketball, many fans felt the organization blurred the line between 2 completely separate issues. Online harassment, racist abuse, and death threats are serious problems that should never be tolerated. Every player deserves protection from that kind of behavior. But at the same time, facing league discipline for a basketball play is an entirely different matter. One issue is unacceptable abuse from strangers online. The other is accountability under the league's rules. Combining those 2 conversations risks distracting from both of them. Alyssa Thomas absolutely deserves support as a person. She also deserved the league's review if officials believed the foul crossed the line. Those ideas don't contradict each other. A player can receive support from her teammates while still accepting the consequences of a basketball decision. A more balanced statement could have acknowledged both realities. The Mercury could have publicly supported Thomas while also respecting the league's ruling and moving forward. Instead, many interpreted the statement as suggesting the suspension itself was unfair, despite the video evidence that led to the league's decision. That's why this response generated so much criticism. In professional sports, loyalty is important, but accountability matters just as much. Organizations have to support their players without appearing to excuse every action they take on the court. This also matters for the league's image. The WNBA continues to attract new viewers, many of whom are watching because of stars like Caitlin Clark. Those fans expect consistent officiating and consistent discipline. When they see a controversial play followed by a team statement that appears to dismiss the suspension, it naturally raises questions about whether accountability is being taken seriously. At the end of the day, Alyssa Thomas will return, this suspension will pass, and her career will continue. But the way the situation was handled may leave a longer-lasting impression. Supporting a teammate doesn't require denying what happened. Sometimes the strongest form of support is accepting responsibility, serving the suspension, and moving forward without turning a routine disciplinary decision into something much larger than it needed to be.